Good morning, everyone. This is the CodiKnits podcast. This is episode 100, I believe. Oh, and as if on cue, here's Diamond. She's a little nervous because we're outside on our balcony and she kind of doesn't like the heights. She doesn't mind being out here when she's on the deck, but she does get a little nervous if we pick her up or something. But anyway, I am Cody and this is Diamond. You can find me on Ravelry as CodiKnits and here on YouTube as the CodiKnits podcast, and on Instagram, Cody_knits. I am currently filming outside on my balcony. It's a beautiful morning, and so you may hear some cars go by or the birds. We'll see how this goes. If it's not, if it's too noisy or something, then next time I won't film outside. But I wanted to this morning. So it's been a while since I've podcasted. This is episode 100. Super exciting. And I've been getting lots of emails about new subscribers, so I just wanted to say welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming by and checking me out, and I hope you enjoy. It's nothing super special here, just me sitting talking about some things that I knit and different things like that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook or whatnot, you'll know things have been quite crazy, especially the last couple of weeks. Particularly noisy car going by, so I'll wait. I don't think they're supposed to be sounding like that. But anyway, so a lot's been going on. I think last time I checked in with you, I was getting ready to move. I'm all moved in. I moved in with my friend Kirby, really to save money, and for a couple of reasons. Well, one is I was really living at the top of my budget where I was. In the middle of Atlanta is expensive. I'm kind of on the outskirts of Atlanta now, and I love it here. There's places for me to ride my bike. There's the trails. There's hiking trails. We're near a river. So yeah, I'm really loving it here. And so I was getting ready to move, and then I think I moved in the weekend of my birthday. April 26th was my birthday, and I turned 32, if I'm doing the math correctly. Wow. So that was, a busy time, and then trying to get things settled in here, and Kirby had already had this apartment all set up and stuff, so I was kind of moving into her space, and so it took me a bit to kind of get incorporated into the space, so it's our space more. So, most of the furniture and things like that, I was like, I don't need to, so she already had it here. But, like, my room was going to be, like, her craft room / office, so we had to do some arranging and things like that, but we've gotten it all sorted out. Diamond loves Kirby. Auntie Kirby, she just sits in her lap all day. Kirby works from home, and so Diamond can sit in her lap and just sit there all day under the blanket, and she loves it. And she'll take her out during the day and things like that, and if I need help, she'll feed her or whatever I need. So it's been really nice. It's adjustment for sure, because I'm used to having my space to myself all the time, living by myself. Now, we haven't really had any issues or anything. I have my room, and she knows I'm one of those people who need their alone time, and so, you know, I just go to my room, and, you know, she doesn't get offended if I do that or whatever, so, and she doesn't keep me up, like I don't hear her in there, when she's doing things. Have a fan on in my room that blocks out most of the noise, so it's been really good. Long story long, that piece. But it did take some time to get adjusted and get things arranged in the room so it felt like a room and not just like a storage room with my bed in it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, it's been really great. She's actually went home for the weekend to see her mom, so I've had the apartment kind of to myself this weekend, which has been, it's been pretty nice. It's also weird, but because I'm used to someone being here, but it's been nice to kind of have a little bit of quiet after everything that I've been going through. If you don't know, a couple weeks ago, my grandfather passed away, and he had two things kind of hit him at once. He died the day before his 82nd birthday, and this was my mother's stepfather, but basically her father. He was married to my mom's mom, obviously, and I was really close to her when I was younger. She passed away when I was 7, but he's never remarried or anything. So he had like heart failure, and he was having trouble breathing, and during that workup they found he had 2 big masses, one in each lung. So he also had lung cancer, and it was causing the lining around his lungs to fill with fluid, with cancer cells. It's called a pleural effusion. They drained one time 3.5 liters of fluid from his lung, and you're like, no wonder you can't breathe. But also, when you have heart failure, the kind he had particularly, most people, the most common, I would say, your bloodstream, the way your blood system works is it comes, you know, your blood goes into your lungs to pick up oxygen, right? And then it goes into one side of your heart to be pumped out to the rest of your body. So one side of your heart pumps it to the lungs to pick up the oxygen. It comes back, and then it goes to the other side of the heart where it's pumped out to the rest of the body to distribute that oxygen. Well, what happens basically is that things, just like plumbing, when things aren't working properly, things back up. And so when one side of the heart isn't working, it backs up, and the lungs kind of fill up with fluid, so people can't breathe well, they feel like. So that makes you feel like you can't breathe. And so it's not really like fluid in the lung tissue itself, but the vessels and stuff that go into the lung. And then he had the lung cancer, which was filling up the lining of the lung. You have like in your lungs, you have like the organ itself, and then it's covered in what we call the pleura. It's like a lining, like a sac. And so fluid builds up in there, and then it causes the lungs to collapse if there gets too much in there. So he was kind of basically like he was drowning, and it was really sad. I tried to, we tried to get him some treatment for the cancer, but he just, he wouldn't have been able to handle anything, really. We were going to try some like immunotherapy that's a little less toxic and things. But his other issue was that, that really kind of put him over the edge, was he had to have 3 stents put in, part of the heart issue, and he had to be put on blood thinners. So when you're on those, initially you have to be on them for like 3 months before you can even stop them, and because of the risk for blood clots. So he was on those, so that delayed some things, but he also developed like a bleed, and a GI bleed, and he had a big GI bleed. He passed out, went to, they called the ambulance, the hospital got him, and basically I was like, we need to get hospice at that point, because I knew he wasn't gonna get better from that. So they gave him some blood and stuff. They kept him overnight and got him feeling a little better. He came home the next day, and with hospice, he was a little bit disoriented and stuff, a little, he was a really stubborn old man. So he was a little, that, but then the next day he kind of was more like, sorry, another loud car. It's blue, and it's got like this tire thing on the back, almost like a Jeep, and it's got the Captain America shield on there. Anyway, so he basically kind of got, where he was unresponsive and stuff, and we were trying to keep him comfortable, and it was hard. It was really hard, because for about 2-3 days we had to sit there and watch him struggle, and knowing that he's gonna pass away, and it's like, it was really hard to just sit there and wait for him to die, basically. I know that's kind of harsh way to put it, but that's what we were doing, and it was really sad. It was hard, but we tried to keep him as comfortable as we could. Hospice was very helpful. And then, so we buried my papa, and that's my grandfather. We buried him, I think it was on a Tuesday, or Wednesday, I can't remember now. All the things are blurring. And then, anyway, the Friday after that, my mom found her brother, my uncle. He was dead at his house. He had suffered with terrible seizures since he was really young. He was 64 years old. And that was a shock, it was sudden. And my mom had, he had kind of, because of his epilepsy and stuff, his wife passed away a few years ago. And he lived by himself in this little trailer thing. And my mom, was trying to help take care of him too, and take him to, get groceries and to his doctor's appointments. And he was on probation because he kept trying to drive and stupid stuff like that. So she was having to deal with all that too. But she took him to get groceries a couple days beforehand and get his medicines and stuff. And then she didn't hear from him that night or the next day. And usually he calls her. And so she got worried Friday night, like 10 o'clock. She went over there and had to get the police to come and open the door, and he was on the floor. So basically, the way it looked, I saw, the way it looked was that he had a really bad seizure. He had some medicine out, like, he was trying to get to his medicine, and, he kind of chewed up his tongue and stuff, and he, just fell on the floor, had a really bad seizure, and didn't come out of it. So it's really sad. It's been really rough couple of weeks. I'm exhausted. Things are getting a little better now. We've kind of gotten all that dealt with. It is so much. My mom was the executor of both of their wills. So my papa, he did pretty well for himself. He has, house and cars and all this stuff paid for, but he didn't have a life insurance policy, but he has he has the money in the bank and stuff. So, but I had to put that like on a credit card so we could bury him until we get this will probated, so that we can have access to the funds and stuff. So that was really stressful. My mom was really upset because we couldn't do things exactly how she had wanted to do them. But, I mean, and with the COVID-19 virus going on around, things aren't exactly open. So this has just been a mess, and we were dealing with that, and then my uncle died. Luckily, he had a life insurance policy, so they made it so easy for us at the funeral home. We gave them the policy copy. They called the people, got it going, and basically the insurance policy people, they will send them a check for how much the funeral cost, and the rest they'll send to us. And they just had to call me and get a verbal consent to do that, and they've made it really easy, so we didn't have to worry about it as much. But yeah, it's been really hard, especially for my mom. You know, she lost her stepdad and her brother in 2 weeks, and she had been taking care of them, you know. So I'm hoping now that, you know, we can get some of these things settled. We have a lot of stuff to sell and sort through and stuff, but my uncle was renting, so we were having to hurry up and get him moved out because, you know, the owners are going to want their, you know, space back. And yeah, so it's been a lot on me. My mom doesn't really know what to do, and, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then I've been working in between when I could. I did get some bereavement days off, but it is 3 days, and really, I mean, it's just not enough to do everything, and even probably if I had a whole month off, it still would not be enough time to get through everything. But, you know, I'm just doing what I can. My mom, I'm just kind of trying to tell her, you know, call the cable company and get that cut off, you know, little things she can do at home. But anyway, it's been really rough. Long story. But I've been doing some knitting and things like that, and I wanted to come on and share with you guys. It's been so long since I've podcasted, and I missed you guys, and I wanted to come on and share. I have a couple of things I finished, some discharged projects, and I have some workups to show you. And yeah, I just wanted to come on and do that. Sorry that was really long, like 17 minutes of me blathering about my life, but talk about some more things at the end. But I want to get into some knitting. I'm super excited to show you. Have a sip of my coffee. I still miss being able to go and do like we have knit nights, but we're doing them virtually. I miss being able to see people in person. But anyway, I finished my boxy. This is the boxy by Joji Locatelli. I've blocked it and washed it. Sorry, I probably can't see a whole lot of it. It smells so good right now. Yeah, my godmother doesn't really like the sleeves of it, which is fine. So I'm gonna send this to Miss Nancy. She can use it as her shop sample. It's not something I would wear personally, but it is a cute sweater. It's boxy, if that's your kind of style. It's big, flowy, you know, not like, it's light and lightweight and flowy, and so yeah. But I want to kind of show you. The good thing about sitting out here is the lighting is really good. These colors are pretty accurate. So this is Trilogy Yarns, Nancy, and her plush. This is her plush base, and it is MCN, so 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. And this is her little nugget colorway. I really enjoyed knitting with this yarn. I will never knit another one of these, probably. It's not because I wouldn't wear it, but the way it has you knit when you do it in the round is like you start from the bottom and you knit, and you're knitting in the round. And then when you get to the armholes, you have to knit the front and knit the back. And then you kind of do the shoulders and whatever. But I didn't like how that, I would have, if I do this again, I'll just knit them in two separate pieces. Knit the front, knit the back. Because it was annoying to have, like, you have all the bottom half of the back of the sweater dangling while you're knitting back and forth on the front of the sweater, the front top. Then you have to put those stitches and then you knit the front of the back, or the top of the back. And so all that stuff is hanging while you're knitting back and forth, and it just wasn't comfortable, I guess. But the pattern does have where you can, and I think Hohi's preferred method really is to knit them and seam it. And I think that would have been a lot easier, really, to be honest. Even though, you know, so much of it is stockinette in the round, it's, you know, mindless. But yeah, I'm gonna be sending this to Nancy. You'll probably need to reblock it, but Nancy, because of when it gets shipped, it might get wrinkly and stuff. But yeah, thank you for letting me do this. I really love the color. And I did do helical knitting for the bottom half of the sweater where it was just in the round. Really good. I don't see any like pooling or anything like that. I think everything matched up really well. And then for the top, I just alternated every other round. So I knit and purled and then switched. Knit, purl, switch, knit, purl, switch balls. So yeah, I mean, you need to do that with hand-dyed yarn just to keep it from having weird stuff. So yeah, absolutely 100% recommend this yarn, this company, Trilogy Yarn. There's a great person behind that company, and yeah, I highly recommend. So there's that. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I knit this hat and I can't remember the name of it. I finished this hat. And I can't remember the name of it. It was a free pattern, and I found it on Ravelry, but it takes you to a download link. I'll have to put it somewhere for you guys. It took me no time at all to knit it. And I just had this Madeline Tosh kelp in the Madeline Tosh Pashmina Merino Silk Cashmere in the kelp colorway, and this is from a leftover from my Dotted Rays shawl, I believe, by Stephen West. And I just had, I still have this much left, but I knit this hat. So my hair, I shaved my head and it's growing back, and you can see really how thin my hair is on the top, even more now. So I'm probably going to be keeping it shaved. I need to cut it again. I don't want to be like, or buzzed, I guess I should say. I don't want to have to like shave it with a razor. But yeah, the fun times. Turn 30. It grows everywhere but where you want it to. Hair, that is. So let me try this on. Man problems. So yeah, here it is. Fits my head like really well, perfectly. It covers my ears. I really love this fit. I like the crown. I'll probably knit another one. I'll probably keep one and then I'll knit another one for donate to for my hats for my patients. Sorry, I have this one on just to keep my head covered because my hair. But this is the sock head hat. I don't know if I mentioned that. And this was partly knit when I was in the Dominican, and yeah, it's lightweight, so I'm not gonna sit out here and sweat to death in it, because it is summer in Georgia and it's cool out this morning. It's in the like 70s, but it's gonna be about 88 degrees Fahrenheit today, so it's gonna get quite warm. But I do plan to do some cycling today, so I'm excited about that. I have one more little discharged project, and I knit another dishcloth. This is Grandma's favorite dishcloth. I do the ones with the holes on the side, and it's GRAMMAS. Now there's a helicopter. Sorry. And you know I don't edit, so just stuck with it. Next thing I worked on looks like I have finished objects, but I don't. So, ta-da! So I think I may have finished one, but I don't remember. I either finished one or and then had been to here and finished, or I was here with this one and knit this one too. But I probably had one finished. I can't remember. These are just some tubes right now. Knit Picks Felici is the color. See if I can get the little band. In the color Sally. These are 75-25 nylon. These are really soft socks. The yarn is really soft, especially when it's been worked up. It's self-striping. And I would highly recommend this yarn if you enjoy knitting socks, or you want to knit your first pair of socks, because the colors are fun. They're 50-gram balls, so most people need 2 of them. If you knit kind of like shorter socks, you may be able to get away with 1 if you do contrasting heels and toes, or heels and cuffs, or whatever, depending on your foot size, obviously. But the thing is it's a good price point, and they're really soft, and it helps when you have, if you're going to be knitting some stockinette for a while, to have color changes or whatever. One thing, if you see this, that annoys the junk out of me, try not to say cuss words on here, but I do say them in real life. So this happened. So if you, and it's completely out of order. Now I kind of like it because it's Hufflepuff colors, and I am a Hufflepuff. But if you look, they're nowhere near each other in the real repeat. So not only did it leave out a whole blue section, but it gypped me on the colors. And this was in the middle of the skein. This was not like me starting new. So that annoyed me. And that does happen every now and then. And you can, because it's a commercial, sometimes you'll get knots where they join, which that doesn't bother me a whole lot if it's just in like just one time, but if it's multiple, I get annoyed. But anyway, you'll notice there's no heels. So I did these wanting to do a true afterthought heel, and another car going by. The true afterthought heel, and I haven't been in the right headspace to I gotta figure out where to put it in the sock, because I need to measure and do some reading and research, and I just haven't been in the headspace to do that. So, but yeah, that'll be happening at some point. And I'm holding it in this little dachshund little sock sack, not owl fibers, gave to me, which is really sweet. And then this one's another one that you have seen in the past. It's in my fringe bag. And this is that lace, the lace shawl. It's called the Kishi shawl, I think is how you say it. So, and it's Lost City Knits, and it's their silk. It's a lace weight. It's 1,000 yards, 100 grams, and the colorway Cruise. And they have lostcityknits.com. It's their website. Shh, it's okay. Barking at somebody. So here is where I am. I've had a little bit of, because my head's been in the wrong place, I had to re-knit this. I was right here, so I was starting this new section, and I had to re-knit this section. Like, I swear I ripped it out 4 times. So I finally finished the little repeat, and I put in, moved up the lifeline to the next repeat. But let me see if I can spread it out a little bit so you can kind of see how it's supposed to look. Something like that. So yeah, I've been doing better now that my head is kind of cleared. So yeah, I've been kind of enjoying that. It's one of those things that I have to be in the right mood and the right time of day and all that, because I have to pay attention reading a chart and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, I'll keep working on that. But it's not been one here lately that I have been picking up. What I have been picking up is actually a new cast on, and I just cast it on last week. And this is in my rainbow. It's June, so it's Pride month, so I had to cast on something for Pride, and the colors, I needed the colors. Bright, happy colors I needed in my life. I'm sorry, Diamond, you're gonna end up falling off, aren't you? So there is that. This is from Rick at Whimsy Stitches. You should go check him out. Do you hear the little kid? It's so cute. And I am knitting. So I was on a little Zoom meeting or Zoom chat that Nancy from Trilogy Yarns invited me to, and there was some fun people on there, and I really enjoyed that. I've done it twice now, and it's been a really good time. And even though I wasn't, it was nice to kind of have a distraction. I might not have been there 100%, but it made me sit down and knit and chat, and they were really supportive, and it was really nice. So I told them it was Pride month, and I wanted to cast on this yarn from Whimsy Stitches, Sparkly Rainbow, and this is the ball band, Whimsy Stitches Yarn Co. You can whimsystitches.com. And this is on a sparkly sock. This is a Pride Rainbow Pride series. It's 75 superwash merino, 20 nylon, 5 Lurex. That's the sparkly. Apparently I can't hold on to anything. Ugh. Having Diamond in my lap, perched, doesn't help. But it's sparkly sock. And it's just Pride Rainbow color. So definitely go check him out. It's great yarn. I know many of you know him. So anyway, I was on there and I was like, hey, I need some suggestions because I couldn't figure out what I wanted to cast on with it, and I was really having a hard time like focusing to like browse through Ravelry. So Corrado Lark was actually on there, and he wasn't on there for a long time, but he came on, and he's a designer, and he was like, hey, not to toot my own horn, but this my king drape pattern would be really good. So this is it. I bought it immediately, looked it up on Ravelry, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. So that's him. That's a handsome young fella, huh? So this is like a one skein fingering weight shawl. He calls it a one skein wonder or a two skein miracle. So if you have two skeins and you want to make it larger, you can totally do that. And this has been exactly what I've needed the past week. So I've really, really enjoyed it. It's like, it's pretty mindless. It's not stockinette. What's it? Garter stitch shawl, scarf, and you just have something to do at the end of each row that's really easy and super memorizable. And look how beautiful it's knitting up. Oh, let's go back. So yeah, I really, really love it. It's the yarn was so pretty, and I love socks and stuff, but I wanted it to be shown off. So yeah, look how fun this is gonna be. Yeah, I really like it. So I'm just been knitting away on this, and you start kind of here in the corner, and then you just kind of grow. So it's a great way to use up like as much of the yarn as you can too, which I really enjoy. It's a fun little design, and like I said, it's super memorizable, but I really love how the colors are looking. It's not pooling too like with clumps of color, but it's like, I don't know how to describe it, but I really like it. I'm knitting them on my Chalgu needles. Yeah, those are my favorite. And I've just been really enjoying this. This is what I've been kind of, let me just sit and knit, and it really goes pretty fast because it's like I'm at a section, it's like a 2-row kind of repeat, and I always want to finish the 2 rows, so it's like anytime I knit it, I'm always at least doing 2 rows, and yeah, really fun. So I would highly recommend it. Go check it. He's got lots of patterns on his Ravelry page, so go check him out. I think he lives in New York, so that's fun. That's all that I've been knitting. But I do have some well, can't call it mail because I didn't. Anyway, I bought some yarn. So it's not really happy mail because I didn't get it mailed. So I wanted to still try to support my local, yarn shop. And it's called The Craftivist. And it's such a beautiful little shop, and the owners are great, and they never made me feel awkward or unwelcome when I went in, and that goes a long way considering my experiences being a male knitter going into a yarn shop in the past. And I don't know if the difference is these owners are younger, and the other shop that I went to, they were, what, I know this may sound mean, but what I would, call kind of little older ladies, and they just weren't, they had a great selection of yarn. They're out of business now, but maybe their way they treat people had something to do with that. I wouldn't be surprised, but just made me not want to go back and spend my money there. So the Craftivist has never made me feel that way. They're very inclusive. They don't, knitting, crochet. They offer classes in both. They have some little different projects, and they have some local dyers that come. Really love them. So I wanted to support them. They're not really you can't really go in and shop around really, but they're online. You can buy online, and they give you free shipping, but they give you the offer to go by and pick it up. So they don't have to pay the shipping cost. I just went over, and you knock on the door, and they're there, and they have your little order ready for you, and they hand it to you through the door and tell you to have a good day. They have their mask on, and so anyway, it's really good situation. So I bought some stuff. So I bought this skein of Spud and Chloe. I was looking for something kind of springish, happy colors. And I'm not going to tell you what yet, but I have some ideas in my head. So I bought this one and this one of something I'm wanting to do with these. And I don't want to tell you yet, because in case I don't do it or it doesn't work out. But I have a kind of a idea in my head. But this is Spud and Chloe, and it's in their fine sock. So it's superwash wool, 80% and 20% silk. Super soft. I love the colors. Pretty good price. It says Spud and Chloe by Blue Sky Alpacas, and this one is the bumblebee color, and this one is cricket. So bumblebee and cricket. So I really like these. But the main reason I went there, another reason, is I saw this, what is this? Oh, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But I saw this, pattern, in an email. I think it's We Are Knitters or something. I can't remember. But they had this, kit that they had. You can download the pattern for free. But it was like it was a cotton, like t-shirt kind of thing, and it has all kinds of tassel-y things. And my godmother, I sent her a picture of it, and I was like, would you wear this? And she said yes, you love that. So I needed to buy some cotton for that, and someone told me this Cascade Yarns Ulta Pima was good, so I got some, and it's 100% Pima cotton. Cascade. It was $10 a thing, and I think it's yeah, 100 grams, 220 yards. It's a DK weight basically. So I got 1, 2, 3. I think I got 5 of these to make that t-shirt. I don't think I'll need all 5 of them, but the color is paprika. So it's basically just this like beigey cream color, and so I'm gonna knit that for my godmother. So I wanted to show you before I cast it on, but I'll probably do that pretty soon. Yeah, that's all that's left in there. So yeah, I got 5 of these. I've ordered a couple of things. Well, I've ordered something that hopefully will be here in the next week or so, and I can show off on the next podcast. But I haven't done a whole lot of buying. I just haven't cared to do that a whole lot. But anyway, let me do a little bit of rearranging here. So I finished up my Invisalign treatments, and he's smiling. They finally got the little button things off, and I have some retainers I wear at night, and so I'm super excited about that. Yeah, so that was what that little thing was, is a receipt. So I went to the dentist / orthodontist, and then went over and picked up that yarn. So I'm really happy with it. Yeah, so now I can like get my teeth whitened and I had my regular dentist checkups where they do x-rays and stuff, and one of my fillings on this tooth, I think, is leaking. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but he says what caused me to look like I have a little piece of pepper in between my teeth there. So I'm gonna get that kind of refilled. I guess is what it would be. But no other cavities, and I'm super excited about that. I can't remember a time I went to the dentist and not had cavities. Part of that is because I've been going every 6 months like I'm supposed to, and doing, brushing and flossing and using mouthwash, and this extra fluoride stuff. So that's really helped that. I think it's really that extra fluoride and making sure I floss. So I'm really pleased with that. And I'm pleased with the Invisalign. They were a pain in the butt, to be honest. But it was nice to be able to take them off to eat and things like that. But they did and you had to keep them in like all the time, or your teeth kind of moved and shifted, and they would be really uncomfortable. But I had to change them out every week. And so I did 32 weeks of them. But I'm pleased with the end result. Really pleased. So yeah, I can't complain. Happy with that. The other thing I've been doing, like especially when I was moving in, I was reading a lot more than knitting for some reason. And then I just kind of needed, some escape from this world, I guess. So I finished some books I wanted to tell you about. So I'm getting my list on it. So I finished, actually just recently, I listened to it on audiobook, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. Pretty good book. I would give it probably three stars. I like the whole fairy world piece to it. I've started listening to the next book, and I don't know. I'm gonna keep listening to it, but it just got a little more sexual, I guess, and it was like in the first chapter. Kind of not unexpected, that not completely just putting it in there to put it in there, but yeah, I think I saw that they're going to be making them into a TV series or something. But anyway, pretty decent, I don't regret reading it. It was interesting. But, yeah, 3 or 4 stars, And then, one thing Kirby and I do is we sometimes will sit on the couch and listen to audiobooks as well. And she has me listening to this Innkeeper Chronicles books. And they're really funny. They're kind of that same, sci-fi, fantasy-ish kind of stuff. But Innkeeper Chronicles, we finished the first one called Clean Sweep. And it's Iona Andrews, and I think there's like 6 or 8 of them or something, but they made me laugh. They were light, the chapters are fast, so I definitely recommend listening to them on audio. The lady who narrates it she does great voices, so I really enjoyed that. I love the characters. They're funny, quirky, certain characters, so I just really we've really been enjoying. She's listened to them all, but she's re-listening to them with me, so that's fun. I finished all of the Dragon Chameleon Chronicles. I finished those. I was reading those on my Kindle, and it was like 12 mini books or something. I don't know, maybe they're like full books for kids, but they went by really fast. Really good series. I want to go back and read the Dragon School books. And I think that those ones have more of a female lead in them. The ones I read had a male lead. But they were really good. They were not boring. Definitely recommend them to the kids. I also read a book called Angelopolis. Danielle Trussoni. So a long time ago, I read a book called Angelology. I love angel stuff. That whole, the lore and the, I don't know the words I'm trying to say, but I love that. The mythology, I guess, almost. I love reading about them and the different types and whatever. So, Angelopolis was a sequel to Angelology, and it was pretty good. I kind of got annoyed with it, actually, at the way that it ended. Not the way that it ended. I think what I got annoyed is that they set up and built up this, like, a couple of different plots. And my favorite plot in there, they just kind of brushed over it. And I'm like, ugh. And the book's called Angelopolis. And I felt like it needed to be more, I felt like there could have been more with it. She did end it to kind of, seems like there could be another book. There may be one, and I just don't know it yet, but she did kind of end it where I could see that happening. So, I mean, it was good. It was good. Probably 4 stars out of 5 I would give it. So we have these hummingbird feeders up on our balcony, and this oh, that was so cool. So I'm sitting here talking to you, and the hummingbird just comes over and gets a drink. Like, I see them when I'm sitting on the couch all the time through the balcony doors, but I've never seen one like that close. It was so cool. I wish, like, the camera was pointing there, but I didn't want to move. So yeah, anyway, that's another book that I read. And then I'm currently, like I said, I'm listening to the second, A Court of Mist and Fury or something of that Chronicle, A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And then I'm reading, a new Shadowhunters book came out, a couple months ago. I'm super excited. And I ordered it and had it shipped to me. But it's this one, Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is another one of her Shadowhunters series. There's a lot of Shadowhunter series books. I love the original. And then, let me tell you, so there's the Mortal Instruments is the original series, and there's 6 in that one. And then there's the Infernal Devices. It's kind of like, it's the story, like, you hear about things in the Mortal Instruments, and so, like, you hear about what happened before, like, things that, like, wars, if you want to say, or battles that happen, you hear about in the Mortal Instruments series. So it's like the prequel. So, like, they're the parents of the main characters in the Mortal Instruments, kind of like their story. And then there's the Dark Artifices, and I finished those a while ago, and now this. The Dark Artifices was very, I feel like these were a little bit more political, like had a lot of politics in them, and that's not my favorite thing, but this one is really, it's got just a tiny bit of that, but it's mostly back to the original, the Mortal Instruments, killing demons, and a little bit of love interest in there. So yeah, it's been really good. I'm about halfway through, on page 312 of something. 600 and something. It's weird, these ones, this must be something in the back that's not. Oh yeah. 312 of 582, and then there's like a little spoiler text or something in there. So, really enjoying this. And now I really want to go read it. But yeah, the past couple of weeks I haven't been in the right headspace to read. I just want to do mindless. So I've been knitting, basically. Knitting easy things. So, let me just double check this. It's gotten really long. It's about an hour. Okay, so one announcement is I'm gonna do, it's the Summer of Hats knit along again. So if you can use whips, really if you finish them in the last month or so, you can throw those in there. You can knit, crochet, sew, whatever, hats that I will be donating to my patients. And what I'll do is every hat that you send, you'll be entered for prizes. And I don't know those prizes yet, but I'll come up with something. But yeah, if you want to do that, let me know. And don't send them to my old P.O. box. I moved, so I'll have to get a new P.O. box. But if I don't have one yet, when you're ready to send them, just message me. I'll get you the address. Let's see. There's things I want to talk about. Oh, I'm still working. We're doing like telehealth, but I have to be in my office, and the patients are coming because they come to the facility because they have to get their treatments anyway. So I'm just seeing them over the iPad, and if I need to go in for some reason, I can. But just trying to stay safe. So I'm still working, doing well with that. I got a new computer. There's some people walking their dogs. I got a new computer, and I had some little drama with that, of course. So some of the computer parts are hard to come by these days, and I needed one for when I start school in August, and I was like, I don't know if they're going to have computers in August available. I don't know what's going to go on. And my old computer I was using, it literally takes it 15 minutes to start up. It's no memories left on it, and I just am going to need one. It's online, and I'm going to be writing a lot of papers and doing a lot of research. So I was like, let me just bite the bullet and get a new computer. And I really wanted a MacBook, but don't be rude, don't bark at people. They're just out there pottying. So, I really wanted a MacBook, but, the one I wanted was like over $2,000. And, they're great and everything, but I just couldn't justify paying that much money. I just couldn't. So I found a Dell that had more storage, it had more memory, it had better graphics, and things that I needed. There's a doggy down there that doesn't like other doggies. So they're having a hard time navigating between all the other. It's probably, that morning walk time. So, anyway, I needed a computer, long story short, and I found a Dell that was not the cheapest, but it was much more reasonably priced, and I bought it was from Amazon, actually, because it was like the original websites don't really have anything in stock. So I bought one. Had some people that I know that know stuff about computers, and they're like, yeah, that's a good one. So they shipped it, I got it, I turned it on, it turned on, tried to set it up, kept going to this blue screen, and I was literally on the phone 8 hours with the Dell support people, First it was the Windows program was corrupt. So they made me, on my old computer, download. It's going to be loud. There's a U-Haul coming by. Sorry. There's a speed hump there, so people slow down, but most people don't. Speed hump number 2. So they had me download it to a thumb drive and then take it to the new computer and plug that in and do fancy stuff that I don't know anything about and download it. So I did that and it didn't work. Still, I had that blue page of death. It kept popping up. Like every time it would say, you need to install the updates and in order to continue, and it kept on I would install the updates, it'd restart, go straight back to that screen. It was so frustrating. So basically he ended up saying that the whole thing is corrupted and they needed to replace it. So long story short, 4 weeks later I finally get a new, after waiting 2 weeks for that one to be sent and get here. 4 weeks later, I get a new Dell computer, and it's not a laptop. It's not the original one I ordered. This one is a 2-in-1 laptop, so it's a touchscreen and all that. It has the same memory, same speeds, all of that kind of specs were all the same. It was just a 2-in-1. The thing about this one is that my other one had the little keypad to the right, but this one doesn't have that. Same size screen and all that. And so I really like it, actually. I got it out of the packet. I was able to turn it on and set it all up and have had no issues. So that was a relief. It works. I'm ready to go for school. But that was just like one thing after the other's been happening, and yeah, but it's all working out, right? It's all working out. Everything works out. Last thing I wanted to tell you is something kind of funny, is that I think I told you guys that my car was stolen from my old apartment. So someone stole the keys from inside my apartment and stole my car. And I love that car. But I was a little bit upside down in the car because of I traded in another car that I still owed a pretty good bit of money on for that one, and so that also made my payments be a little bit high. So anyway, it was stolen and whatever. Couldn't, had to get rentals. Nobody could find it. Had to prove, we finally got the footage of the car being taken, but never could find it. 2 weeks later, the insurance company is like, okay, well, I need you to fill out and sign these things, basically turning over the title to them, and then they would send me a check for the car, what they thought it was worth. And then, thank God, I had gap insurance, so that paid most of everything else. I think it paid everything but like $1,200, which that got on my nerves because I was like, that's the whole point of gap, but whatever. The people are letting me pay that in small payments, so it's not, I could have paid it off, but why take that much money out of the bank when you don't have to, especially right now. So they're letting me do like really small payments to them until that rest of that gets paid off. So that was nice. But anyway, I no longer owe on the car. Well, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I get a call from the Atlanta Police Department saying, hey, we found your car. There's no damage, it hasn't been wrecked, it's just at this towing place, it got towed. So apparently someone took it for a joyride, parked it in a parking lot, and backed it in, and so the cameras couldn't, read the license plates. So I guess it sat there so long, someone finally towed it, and they found it, and it was still, like, the tags were still, like, my name or whatever, and it had stuff in it that said my name on it. So they called me and told me, and I was like, oh, well, I don't own it anymore, but I called the Geico people, that's who my insurance was with, and I told them, hey, the car is there if you want to go get it, because I've already gotten a new car. I got a Subaru, and I love it. Subaru Forester. Much lower payments, and I'm not upside down in it. So that's always a good thing. Anyway, it was just funny that they found it. It's not wrecked. The only thing is I had some books from when I was a kid in there that I had just gotten from my mom's, and I left them in there because I was moving, and they're not in there. So I guess somebody else's kids are enjoying my Dr. Seuss books from 1988, 1990-ish, and the Disney books. Anyway, that ended up working out for good too, because, you know, I got out of that upside down car loan, I guess, and yeah, I really like the car I have now, so I guess that worked. And my monthly payments are much lower, like half. So that, you know, I'm trying to look at the silver linings. My mom is doing okay, you know, it's a lot for her. You know, she still cries sometimes, but the first thing happened, oh my gosh, every like 2 minutes she was crying, and it was a lot to handle. But she's doing a little better. You know, she's a little overwhelmed with everything we gotta try to get done, and stuff like that. And she was originally freaking out because she's like, we gotta do this because you put that on a credit card, and, you know, my papa's funeral. And I was like, look, if I know the money's there. If I have to make some payments or charge you some interest, it's fine. Whatever. Don't worry about it. Just do what you gotta do. Don't freak out. Like, my credit score will drop a couple of points for a little while, but we're gonna pay it off. I know the money's in there. It's not a big deal. So that helped her kind of chill out a little bit. She's feeling like she had to do everything like in a week, and I'm like, it's not gonna happen, just calm down. But she's doing a little better. But now, you know, she's not to have to take care of my papa anymore. She doesn't have to take care and run after my uncle anymore. So now she can focus on herself and take care of herself for a bit, and that's what she needs. So kind of worked out, you know. I'm, like I said, trying to just focus on the silver linings of things. So yeah. But anyway, I hope you are all doing well. There's been so much going on in the world too, and my heart's been so heavy. I have been really emotional myself lately. Just this morning I couldn't find my tripod, and I cried. And then I'm sitting there, and then I cried because I cried, and like, why are you crying? This is not a big deal. Like, why are you, you know, like, it's one of those things. And it's just been, it is what it is, right? But like I said, Kirby went home for the weekend, and so I've kind of had a little bit of downtime. Yesterday afternoon, I had to go up to my mom's yesterday, but after lunch, I was back by lunch, and then today I'm at home all day. So I just had a little bit of downtime, some quiet time. It's been helpful to kind of, you know, some mental health time. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go for now. Hopefully I'll be back in another couple of weeks with some more stuff to show you. I'm hoping kind of life gets back into a normal routine here, and that we can enjoy our time together as a knitting community, as friends, and hope you all are staying healthy, staying safe, still making good decisions, washing your hands and all that kind of stuff. Be careful. I know it's been so long and we're just itching to get out, and we're, I see people being a little more lax on the, mask and stuff like that. Just be careful, and think about other people. It's not just you in the world. Think about other people and your choices and how they impact other people. And yeah, keep knitting. Let me know if you guys are interested in the, if you have hats you want to send, let me know, and I'll get you an address to send those. And if you have any other book recommendations, I told you a list of some I've been reading. If you have any other book recommendations that you like that are kind of similar to those, let me know. And I hope you're all doing well again. And Diamond says hello, and she's missed you. I miss you. You missed your little fans. You missed your fans. Look, you see them? You see them? Oh, she's getting older and older. Look at that white face. Sweet little doggy, isn't she? You're so sweet. Oh. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. I've been here for a long time chatting about nothing. Well, actually, it's important stuff and some fun knitting stuff and all that too. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, and we'll see you next time. Bye.